My dynamic Pisces. To save some time, I already shuffled the cards and laid them out. I'm using a Celtic 10 card spread that allows me to look at past, present, and future influences for the week. And as always, I'll be teaching the tarot through each card so you not only receive your message, but you start to grow your own intuitive relationship with the cards, because that's what this channel is all about, is using tarot for our benefit and betterment. And also to shout out to everybody that watches and subscribes. I just can't say thank you enough before I start this reading. And I want you to give yourself a hearty thank you as well for the good job that you've been doing throughout this last year and a half to get you to a spot that's trying to feel balanced, that you believe in your own voice, your own authority, you feel comfortable in that skin, that you could able to use that to bring the next chapter of your life to unfold, okay? And that's starting to happen. There might be still like little stops and starts and a little bit of kind of like little kind of pings that irritate you almost every day from people and situations. But that's what I literally need you to rise above, Pisces, and get into connection with you and your own authority and your own voice, because that's what's starting to unveil. All the things that have been harping on you for so long are you're starting to find a balance, because some of those things have to stay in your life, and you're starting to find a balance on how to deal with them, and also give yourself self-care, nurturing, positivity, and being able to move forward again. Okay. And so as you get that balance more and that kind of steadiness, that's where that kind of self-confidence really builds upon right now, that you could be able to move forward confidently, including against people that might be bullying you. Let's get into why I'm saying it, because I got such a great dynamic as well in the second card placement. In the first card placement, which is the significator, the general gist of the overall reading, I have the major arcana card, the Emperor. So when we have major arcana cards, we're having a life lesson experience. And here in the Emperor, it's about knowing our authority, being the boss, being a leader, being a mentor, being a teacher, being honest, trustworthy, integrity, character, all come at the forefront of the Emperor. And I would just say that's how you are, Pisces. That's kind of your domain in the spiritual realm, and you've been being tested and tried in the material realm for so long to kind of blend that spirit in the material reality. And you've been doing a really good job, and this will be an indicator of that you need to pat yourself on the back and give you kudos, because it's not easy to getting the Emperor. Like I said, he's the boss, he's the leader in business as well. So if anywhere one you have new endeavors, the reading also says to start to explore those things, even if it's just coming out of retirement and wanting to do new things for yourself. Again, that's that application of authority for you to be able to do what you want first, and then everything else will follow. But what's really interesting in this reading, oh, and I'll also say this in the first card placement too, the Emperor, especially with the World underneath it, which is another major arcana card, in that second card placement, which is crossing the Emperor, which is not allowing him to fully manifest in the exalted state, because the World represents new cycles of life, the acknowledgement that you have all the talent and skill sets to do anything that you want to do, anything in the material world, including bringing spirit to materialize in this real world. That's kind of your domain and gig anyway in the exalted state. But what's interesting, because it's a crossing card, if you're dealing with someone that's a bully or aggressive, or my way or the highway, or just having those kind of like macho, it doesn't matter the gender, kind of attitudes and approaches, because that's a non-exalted state of the Emperor. And I just have to call that out, because the World would make you feel like I can't move on. I'm chained to these situations. I don't have my own authority, and I can't break free. And I know some of you in Pisces are dealing with situations that have to have a responsibility and an obligation. And again, that's where that balancing has come into play. But I will say this, anywhere that whether you have to have that Emperor in the non-exalted state in your life or not, start making moves to your own way, because that's what part of this is. And that's part of the reason why you have that conflict with the Emperor, is to push you in new directions. So if you have someone as a family member, let's say, that's giving you that vibe, and you just want to put emotional distance, you can figure out a way to be respectful and, still have your voice, but also not have to have a conflict. Silence, it's its own power as well. But also too, just because some of these cards are new endeavors in the creative and in the material, I just want you to explore whether you have to move on. Let's say you're in work situations that you're getting that kind of non-exalted state of the Emperor and that vibe. don't buy into it. Start putting your resume together, start putting feelers out there, whatever it is, to start. The universe and God could get you the good luck that you're coming into, okay? Because in that fifth card placement is the karma card. So I got this trifecta right here of the judgment card, which the fifth card placement is what's leaving your life right now. And it's beautiful. It's resurrection, forgiveness, okay? So you're going to have to blend that love with forgiveness. That's also part of this reading as well. Let me just hop to why I'm saying that. And the seventh card placement is the way we're feeling about ourselves. So I've got the Emperor in the first card, the general gist of the reading that I have to deal with. So either wherever you need to become the Emperor, do so, or if you have to go against the Emperor, do so. Whatever way that you don't have that conflict and bring kind of that anger and frustration into your life, just find a way to maneuver around the Emperor, because in the non-exalted state, he's easy to do that. He's got very narrow vision on just being a bully and aggressive, and he just wants his way. So whatever way you have to do that, you can. And what's interesting here is God in the universe, and this has been happening for a while for Pisces, is asking you to use your heart, not only for others, but for yourself first and foremost. That's going to give you that balance off of that rocky surface, right? In the seventh card placement, we have the Queen of Cups. She's unconditional, but she's also tough love. She's spirit, she's intuition, she's our subconscious, she's connection to God, our emotional flow, our feeling. And she's so confident in herself. That's why she can be unconditional. She knows where her heart is. She knows how powerful her authority is in that domain. And that's you in the exalted state, Pisces. So I get the combo here of the twin fish, okay? We have to live in the material even though you're all spirit, and that's never easy for water signs, but especially for a Pisces, because you guys get all the astrological life lessons of all the other 11 signs, including yourself. So it's never an easy ride, and God in the universe always asks an extra dose of you to be able to put your heart into something, and that's what this is a reflection of this reading. So trust your heart. That's the way to lead. You've been working on that as well, so don't let the Emperor, okay, I'll say this as well. Don't let the Emperor overpower the Queen. All right. At the end of the day, you cannot think of intelligence or even authority in that kind of domain of the material is more important than spirit and God, because it never is. And that's what I'm asking you to kind of put forth. And that's the answer for you to how to navigate the week. Okay. It's a small blip on the calendar, but it's a big deal for you because a life change is happening. So we want to push that world up onto the side to use the Emperor. And I would also say this, the world is a much more powerful card than the Emperor. It's one of the life lessons. It's in the beginning part of the major arcana, so you have to learn that authority. You have to learn about yourself. You have to learn about being an honest and trustworthy person. And I guarantee there's probably some of that friction as well. You're encountering people in situations that are not like that. So, and again, that's just all to get you to grow in your inner self-esteem and in your inner self-love. That's how you get that, by walking the walk and talking the talk. And that's what I'm asking of you this week, Pisces, because you're able to, and you have a lot of support. That's what the God in the universe is saying. So you not only have your great big heart and your unconditional love and your kind of power in the area of emotion, right? There's authority in that against, especially an Emperor, because he's really mostly concerned with the material world. In the exalted state, he would definitely be considerate and compassionate and grateful in that kind of spirit realm. But, you know, his domain is not that, but the Queen is, okay? So let her override. Don't let the Emperor take you away, including other people in situations, from your mission of just using your heart, because that's kind of the bright light that's lighting the pathway to your tomorrow. And you have a lot of good support around you, even if it's a small number of friends or family members that you could reach out to and just kind of get that emotional boost to. You know, that's what the Four of Wands is saying in that third card placement, the top of the matter in the 10-card spread. But I'd like to say what God's message is to how to navigate the week. And the four represents a firm foundation in the area of the creative. So kudos to you, my Pisces friends. Pat yourself on the back. Look how far you've come in the creative idea. And it's been a new kind of creative idea. It might be dealing with family and relationships and home, not just work, okay? So wherever you feel that accomplishment and achievement, again, acknowledge it, respect it, but also too, it's another added bonus in the Four of Wands in my deck, is that you have good friends, soul-minded, like-minded people that have maybe gone through a different journey, but came to the same characteristic results, right, of integrity, ethics, you know, all those things being implied, trust and honesty. So you could trust these people, right? So pull on that energy. Again, it's not a surprise that it's sitting on top of the Emperor. And if I'll also say this, if you're feeling like you're going to the downside of the Emperor where we can get snappy and want our own way and our own authority without considering other people's viewpoints or perspective, the Four of Wands would be a reminder, no, okay? We can't build anything great, especially if it's work area, if we don't have other people, right? Or even family. Like, you can't change the dynamic there if you're not the one to change first, all right? And I want you to believe it. And also, too, I'll say this, especially in the areas of the material, you have a lot of accomplishments and achievements that you've already done. And that's maybe why the hesitant on the world moving forward. It's like you're a little tired. I get it. You're trying to figure out what the next moves are. I get that as well. But you're not going to stop that movement, right? So you might as well just kind of meditative state, detox, get into that safe space for yourself so you can start to take that message from God. Because it's happening, my Pisces friends, you know it. It's like your little fishies are going into new oceans, right? And it's a little hesitant and a little scary, but it's also really exciting and kind of adventurous, right? And that's what the Nine of Pentacles represents in that fourth card position. The base of the matter in the 10-card spread, but I like to say the gut feeling of what we're feeling inside. So I've got the Queen of Cups feeling in my inner internal narrative. It's loving and really trying to bring that forth. And I know how hard you've been doing this, okay, Pisces? I definitely acknowledge that. And I just got to say congratulations. Keep it up, okay? Because there's a reward for that. Because that's why we're seeing the five is the karma card in that fifth card placement, which is leaving you. Literally, that's the definition of the judgment in tarot. So you've got good karma. And again, you don't get there unless you've been the queen. Unless you've taken up those trials and tribulations that God and the universe has set forth for you. And you really took up the task. And now we're kind of like in the last final exams of it and moving forward. And God is unveiling what he wants to have us do next, right? And that's the Nine of Pentacles. That's a validation there. The 9 is a completion state almost, and the 10 of the suit of the minor arcana, right? We have 10 numbers in those suits. And here in the Pentacles, a lot of people just keep it to like work and our bodies and community. But after doing it for so long, and especially with the Pisces, anything in the material world, home, relationship, friends, as well as career, and, you know, the way that we treat our health and our bodies and our thoughts and our outside, you know, way that we want to be in society. That's all the journey of the Pentacles, and you've done such a good job. All your 9 Pentacles are there in a row. We're getting ready to reach the 10. We're getting ready to move on. And the 10 in the Pentacles in tarot is like a happily ever after in those material worlds. So I need you to take that celebratory pause state, 369 in tarot numerology, and recognize how far you've come. That's what's built up the Emperor. That's what built up the Queen. That's even built up the opportunity of the World and the Judgment. You can't get to these cards, especially the major arcana cards, unless you've walked the walk and talked the talk through these life lessons and navigated it with good intention and good heart. And you came out with some really good people that really see you as something really special. So focus in on that, because what's happening right now in the 6-card placement, the present, is the Ace of Pentacles. That's the upsurge of energy in the material. It's like the potential and opportunity to materialize something, an idea, let's say, or a family way, or your relationship, whatever you want to bring new energy into something. This gives you the opportunity and potential to realize it. And what's so special about it for a Pisces especially, seeing my guy is coming out of that water. Water represents enlightenment, a spiritual and emotional maturity. We're spending time with God and the universe to learn some stuff. And remember, that's your domain, so you're always going to have that some stuff going on all the time. New life cycles, right? We always have to circle around and repeat again to take those experiences and apply it to the new unveiling, right? And that's what's happening here. That's that potential here. And the Ace, believe in it. It's got that big coin, that gold coin, so believe in your potential to make something happen in the area of money as well, and stuff in the material too, anywhere you want that to touch, okay, Pisces? Just believe in yourself. That's what the message is here. And you've got other people that believe in you as well that you could tap into. And again, your authority is there and your heart is there. But what's so interesting here as well is how other people view you. And this might be because of the Emperor. Let's say you're making a shift to not let bullyish people have so much of your energy or your time or your efforts, and you're putting up those boundaries and working around it while still having to deal with it, okay? And let's see, those people think that you're moving away or you're being cheesy or cheap with your time and your energy and even your pocketbook. That's a reflection of the 8 in how other people view you in that position. And the King of Pentacles in the exalted state is like good with money, expertise, intelligence, abundance, the gold coin, wanting to share it, being generous and compassionate. And that would be what the vibe that you should follow because of the Queen of Cups. But most of the time that he appears in a reading, I've learned from me, he's like King Midas in mythology. Everything wants to turn to gold. Everything's got to be about the gold coin, the dollar. And that's just a downfall, especially for a Pisces, is that's not your domain. But your value also to a lot of people is your energy, your interaction, your help, all those kinds of things. So wherever you feel like you need to put up those boundaries, just know that other people look at you as maybe pulling away in those areas. Okay, and that's good to your advantage. I'll say that. Normally I wouldn't say, like, we don't want to be cheesy and cheap, especially we don't want to be, holding back our emotional flow, because that's what the Queen is dictating. But I think in this reading, especially from the past experiences of Pisces especially, you really need to make sure where that emotion, that energy, even to create an idea and bring it into the material world, you need to make sure it's only with the best of people that support and emotionally promote you, and even materially promote you in any way, like, just with good words, help, whatever that case may be. But don't shut down to the wrong people. Okay, that's, I'll just say with that caveat. But if you need to maneuver around the emperor and everything and shut down to protect yourself and put up those boundaries, that's part of this process. Just make sure you don't build a wall around yourself, okay? I'll just say that caveat. And I think you're being really delicate with that kind of viewpoint. And I think it's more like other people just that pushed you to maybe having to be like back away, like, or maybe feeling like you're confined in certain situations that you can't break free of. So this would be a great indicator that you're doing that in the eyes of other people, and you need to do that because you need to give that distance to yourself, okay? So that's just that one little caveat there. And the 9, another validation of how much you've got going on here. The 9th card position is our hopes and fears. And the Queen of Wands is here. So just like her sister, the Queen of Cups, of the area of the heart and emotion, the Queen of Wands is imagination, inspiration, creativity, taken to an idea and making it a material reality. And that's what your hopes and fears are. And I'll tell you this, guys, you can't get to either one of these queens if you're not it. So you know that you're the Queen of Wands. You know that you're the Queen of Cups. And that's why they're collaborating together. So it's asking you, okay, I've got your heart here, I got your spirit, and I've got some authority, and I know I'm powerful. What do I want to do with it? I've already got chops in the creative too. I know how to make things materialize. And I know all of us go through trips and turns and stumbles and everything. And some of us could feel like those things are in the journey or failures, especially in the area of business. No, no, no. I'm not going to hear it, because everything like that is always a life lesson to make you a better competitor, to make you the better leader, to understand how to do things differently in the future. That's all coalescing for you. So don't do anything that neglects your respect for yourself and your authority and your ideas, and be able to materialize that in a reality way. Okay, I'm not going to hear it, Pisces, and I don't want to hear it from you. All right, because it's sitting in our hopes and fears. So I'm fearful of the Queen of Wands? No way, Pisces. Come on. You love the creative. You love to be dynamic and imaginative and inspiring. That's kind of the exalted state and the happy state of a Pisces. So that's what God is saying to you. Do not be afraid of your heart, your creative energy, and your authority, okay? You've got it all here. And again, another kind of trifecta. I'm just loving it. And I think part of this problem, or not problem, the part of the solution is just getting organized. A lot of stuff has been so scattery, like a conflict, like from the non-exalted state of the Emperor. That's the 5 of Wands. Again, too, we can have ego, pride, conflicting. We have to engage and justify and defend our point of view. The 5 in the outcome card, in that 10th card position, the 5 is good luck in numerology and tarot. But in tarot, there's always some sort of ant or conflict to get over. And the Wands, again, are our creative energy. To me, it's like getting over our dragons of insecurities, fears, and anxiety, so we can get organized and prioritize to move ourselves forward, right? It's everything always has one little scary step, and that's what one of this is. But in older decks also too, you'll see 5 people with each has a wand, and each wanting their own position, right? They all want their own point of view. And again, sitting next to the 4 of Wands, which is team players and other people, and even maybe the authority of other people in there. It means that you just need to get yourself settled, get out of the ego pride domain to get to that higher perspective. And how do you make all those five wands work collectively together? Because they're your five wands, even if it might be other people holding them, they're yours, trying to bring that authority and leadership together of those ideas. That's what wands represent. Their ideas trying to come together. So let's say you're even like having a product or service set, and you want to expand to include other products or services or other people, or you want to merge with somebody. That would be these kind of cards. Like, don't be afraid of that task, right? Even if it's just everyday kind of merging with family ideas and dynamics and your way of your doing your life, with getting that organized in your everyday, so you have a priority where your energy and your emotion, where your money, all those kinds of things get dispersed, right? It's got to be by your agenda, not by anybody else's. And that's why the five is coming up. Say, get over those fears and anxieties to put those things in place for yourself. That's how you get the good luck. And in the bonus card, it's a validation, like we can't live in the past. The Six of Cups is a celebratory state, 369, in the area of, again, our hearts. We have all our cups there. It's emotional flow, so on. And we're going through the halfway point of the journey of the minor arcana to the 10 suit, right? But the thing about the Six of Cups in tarot is nostalgia. Looking back, we could be missing people, or we maybe people in situations have changed. Like, they used to be really nice and now they've kind of gotten being bullyish and aggressive because you're changing. All those kind of dynamics can come into play with the Six of Cups. But the thing about the reflection of the six is to get that celebratory state, that pause state, again, to pat yourself on the back for the accomplishment of getting this far, is realistically looking at people in situations, knowing that certain things have to have boundaries or certain things need to be left behind so you could move forward. Take the lessons and the knowledge and the experience that was for your betterment and your benefit. Okay, but don't get stuck there. Okay, don't say, oh, I wish things were differently, or I wish I could go back to the past. That's just not going to happen, honey bunnies, right? So we got to move forward, my fishy friends. So you've got this. It's like you've got two fish too. I'll say this. So there's two brains there, two creative energies, right? Two hearts. So we can move this forward. Let's not get stuck in yesterday, because a change is happening. It's pretty dynamic. It's pretty exciting. And I want you to go for it, because I don't want you to let anything undermine who you are in this moment that's, again, based out of karma. Okay, so thanks so much, Pisces friends. Thank you for everybody who listens and watches and subscribes. I just can't say thank you enough, all right? Oh, and if you haven't subscribed, if you consider doing so, we're trying to grow the channel and meet other like-minded tarot people. It's been so cool. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Pisces.